After discussing the assumptions of classical linear regression model, in this video I'm going to discuss about Gauss-Markov theorem. But before I start discussing the Gauss-Markov theorem, let us first quickly look at the assumptions that we have taken. The first assumption is that our regression model should be linear in the parameters. So it is not necessary for our regression model to be linear in the variables, that is y and x. All we need is our regression model to be linear in the parameters, and by parameters we mean beta 1 and beta 2. And for example purposes, this is the regression model that we are going to work with. Okay, so this is the assumption number 1. The assumption number 2 is that the x variables, that is the independent variables, are non-stochastic. The assumption number 3 is that the disturbance term has zero mean, and this is how we can write this assumption in mathematical form. The assumption number 4 is the assumption of homoscedasticity. Note that this assumption is more relevant in the case of cross-sectional data, and this is how we can write this assumption mathematically. Okay. The assumption number 5 is the assumption of no autocorrelation between disturbances, and this assumption is more relevant in case of time series data. Keep this thing in your mind because in some of the textbooks, when they are introducing the assumptions of classical linear regression models, they are working with cross-sectional data. So because they are working with cross-sectional data at that time, they sometimes do not write this assumption of no autocorrelation among disturbances because this is more relevant in case of time series data. They introduce this assumption later on when they switch from cross-sectional data to time series data. Okay. So this is one thing that you should definitely keep in your mind, and mathematically this is how we can write this assumption. Make sure you take a good look at the mathematical part of these assumptions because once I switch to the proof of Gauss-Markov theorem, I'll be using these a lot. Okay, so make sure you get comfortable with the mathematical part of these assumptions. Now let's move to assumption number 6. The assumption number 6 is that the disturbance term is normally distributed, quite straightforward. The assumption 7 is that the regression model is correctly specified, and the assumption 8 is that the x values, that is the values of the independent variable, must not all be the same. That means there should be some variation in the independent variable that you are incorporating in the model. So this is all about the assumptions. Now let's jump to Gauss-Markov theorem. The Gauss-Markov theorem says, given that these assumptions are satisfied, OLS estimators are best linear unbiased estimators. That is, the OLS estimators are blue. There are three things that I want to discuss here. The statement says, given that these assumptions are satisfied. So when we say these assumptions, do we mean all the assumptions? Or is there any particular assumption that we can leave? So the first thing is that do we have to make sure that we satisfy all the assumptions to work with Gauss-Markov theorem? The second thing that I want to discuss is what if the assumptions are not satisfied? So this is the second thing. What happens if the assumptions are not satisfied? Okay. And the third thing that I want to discuss is the meaning of this best linear unbiased estimators, that is blue. So this is the third thing. Now first I'm going to talk about this third part. So first I'm going to explain you the meaning of best linear unbiased estimators, and then we will talk about this part 1 and part 2. Note that in this lecture I'm not going to explain you the meaning of best linear unbiased estimators in complete detail. I will only give you a quick overview. So even if you do not understand 100% of what I'm about to say, then do not worry. Once we start with the proofs, I'll discuss these in much more detail, and I'm sure at that time everything will fall into place. Okay, so let's now understand this term. So first of all, let's discuss linear. So the first thing that we are discussing is linear. So when we say linear, we mean that the OLS estimators, which are B1 and B2, are linear in the dependent variable. So OLS estimators B1 and B2 are linear in the dependent variable, or in this case we can simply write that they are linear in yi. Okay, so this is what we mean by linear. Now let's discuss the meaning of unbiased. So the second thing that I'm going to discuss is unbiased. Now the concept of unbiasedness is something that I expect you to know from your statistics course. To make you recall, we say that an estimator is unbiased if the expectations of that estimator is equal to true population parameter value. So if we have to say that B2 is unbiased, we will have to prove that expectation of B2 is equal to beta 2. And if we are claiming that B1 is unbiased, then we will have to prove that expectation of B1 is equal to beta 1. So this is the meaning of unbiasedness, right? Now let's move to the third word that we have here, and it is best. By best, we mean that the OLS estimators are efficient. So let me write it here. So the third thing that we have to discuss is best, and best is also called efficient. So basically we have to prove that the OLS estimators are efficient, and by efficiency we mean that the OLS estimators have the minimum variance. So that means to prove efficiency we have to prove that the OLS estimators have minimum variance. Let me explain this in detail. So what I'm trying to say here is that to prove this third point, we will have to show that the OLS estimators have minimum variance in the class of linear unbiased estimators. So we have to show that OLS estimators have minimum variance in the class of linear unbiased estimators. So this is what we mean by this. Assume that we have two methods to find the estimates of beta 1 and beta 2, and the first method is OLS method, and apart from OLS method, let's say we have another method. Okay, I'm not saying which method, but let's say we have some other method as well. Okay, and what we are claiming here is that the estimators that we have got from OLS method, let's call them B1 OLS and B2 OLS. Okay, and the estimators that we have got from another method, let's call them B1 AM, AM stands for another method, and B2 AM. So what we are claiming here is that let's say that these estimators, these OLS estimators, are linear and unbiased. Okay, so these OLS estimators are linear and unbiased. And let's say that the estimators that you have got from this another method are also linear and unbiased. So these two estimators are also linear and unbiased. So given this kind of scenario, what we are claiming now is that the variance of the OLS estimators will be less than the variance of the estimators that we have got from this another method. So that means the variance of B1 OLS will be less than the variance of B1 AM. Similarly, the variance of B2 OLS will be less than the variance of B2 AM, and that is what makes the OLS estimators best linear unbiased estimators. So in this third property, we are saying that the OLS estimators have minimum variance in the class of linear unbiased estimators. So even if you find some other methods apart from OLS, and let's say those other methods give you estimators which are linear and unbiased, still we would prefer OLS estimators over those estimators because the OLS estimators will have less variance as compared to those estimators. Okay, so this is what we mean by best. I hope this has given you some understanding of what we mean by best linear unbiased estimators. As I told you, even if you have not understood this 100%, then there is nothing to worry. You will understand this in much more detail once we start with the proof of Gauss-Markov theorem. Okay, so this is the third thing that I wanted to discuss with you. Now let's discuss the first and the second thing as well. So the first question that we have in mind is that do we have to make sure that we satisfy all the assumptions if we want the OLS estimators to be blue? Well, the answer is no. For the OLS estimators to be blue, we do not need assumption number 6. So we do not need the disturbance term to be normally distributed to prove that the OLS estimators are blue. If we assume that assumption number 6 holds, then we can prove even a stronger result. In the presence of assumption number 6, we can prove that the OLS estimators are minimum variance unbiased estimators, and in short we call it MVUE. So if your assumption number 6 holds, then we can prove that the OLS estimators are minimum variance unbiased estimators. This means that the OLS estimators are best in the class of unbiased estimators. So that means we no longer have to restrict our comparison to the estimators that are linear. We can say a stronger statement, and that statement is that the OLS will be best in the class of the unbiased estimators. So in the class of linear as well as non-linear. So this is a stronger result as compared to the result that the OLS estimators are blue. So let me summarize what I have just said. So I am saying that to prove Gauss-Markov theorem, that is to prove that OLS estimators are blue, we do not need the assumption number 6. However, if this assumption holds, then you can prove even a stronger result. You can prove that the OLS estimators are minimum variance unbiased estimators. That is, the OLS estimators have minimum variance among unbiased estimators. We no longer have to restrict our comparison to estimators that are linear in the Y. Okay? Now, for the purpose of this course, we are not going to prove that the OLS estimators are minimum variance unbiased estimators. We are going to stick to the proof of the Gauss-Markov theorem. So we are only going to prove that the OLS estimators are blue. And for that, we do not need assumption number 6. Okay, I hope this much is clear. Now let me answer this last thing that we wanted to discuss. So what if the other 7 assumptions are not satisfied? Well, this is obvious. If any of the other 7 assumptions is not satisfied, then we cannot prove that the OLS estimators are blue. In that case, we do not work with OLS estimators, we'll be switching to some other estimators. And we will talk about this in much more detail in the later part of this course, where we will do away with some of the assumptions one by one. Okay? So for now, we are going to assume that these assumptions hold. So this is all for this lecture. I hope this lecture has given you some understanding of the Gauss-Markov theorem. In my next lecture, we will start the proof of Gauss-Markov theorem.